And we're back to another episode of Frightfully Forgotten Horror Movies. Today we wanted to look at 1973's Don't Look Now. It was written by Daphne du Maurier.
I think that's...
And she actually wrote a short story for The Birds, which turned into, the Alfred Hitchcock classic that we know. She also did the short story for this movie, Don't Look Now. The movie is directed by Nicholas Roeg.
Yeah, he did The Witches, the famous children's 90s witch movie.
Yeah.
And The Man Who Fell to Earth with Bowie in it.
Right, yeah.
If you want to see David Bowie's wang, go ahead and watch.
Go for it.
Go and watch Man Who Fell to Earth.
So the plot for this movie centers around John Baxter, who's played by the infamous, not just famous,
The infamous
Donald Sutherland, and his wife, Laura Baxter, who's played by Julie Christie. John kind of almost gets like a vision or like a feeling of something that's going to happen. And it turns out that his daughter ends up drowning in the sort of a creek that runs by the house there. After their daughter drowns, they move to Venice, Italy, where John is commissioned to help restore an old church. You'll be able to tell that she's still pretty grief-stricken, and she ends up running into these two old ladies.
Yeah, in the washroom.
They're kind of psychic too. So you think you don't really know what these old ladies are all about.
Don't know if they're conning them or if it's for real.
That's another big part of this movie. It always keeps you guessing. Yeah.
And they claim to speak to their dead daughter. That's what gets her kind of hooked with these old women.
Yeah. It gets her really hooked, almost to the point of being, well, not almost to the point of being obsessed. She is obsessed.
Yeah, she's always trying to find them and seek them out.
Yeah, and she struggles to get John to visit these old ladies too, and he doesn't want anything to do with it.
He doesn't believe her. And then they claim that John Baxter is psychic.
Yeah. Which of course he doesn't believe.
Yeah, he doesn't believe that either. And they say, well, your husband has the gift. Their still living son, who's still back home, gets hurt at school, and Laura has to fly back home. John Baxter thinks she's gone. He sees her on a boat with those two old strange women. Yeah. So now he thinks that they've kidnapped her, and he goes to the police, and you encounter another really weird character as the head police chief, and he's very bizarre. He's again, you don't know what his motives are. You don't know if he believes his story. Yeah. There's also all these murders happening too in Venice at the same time as a background story. The ending of the movies, can't give it away. We can't go as far as the ending because it's a big twist, and it's basically the whole movie.
It all sort of gets summed up.
But it's definitely worth watching. It's a bit of a slow burn for sure. Yeah.
And if you like, sort of Alfred Hitchcock kind of twists and turns, there's a lot of that in this movie. Definitely pays off at the end.
Yeah, you need patience, but at the end it's completely worth it.
Yeah.
Completely worth it.
Yeah.
Movie shot in Venice.
Yes,
I think it's
very
got
beautiful.
Beautiful cinematography.
Yep.
And it also kind of showcases both sides of the city, I think. The beautifulness of all the churches that they're restoring. Yeah. And then you also see the slums and the real shit end of it. And I like what you said before about how it's they're always being kind of lost within Venice.
Yeah, twists and turns and stuff like that.
Just like the movie.
Yeah.
Just like how they're kind of lost in their grief. They're always kind of getting lost in Venice.
Yeah. Turned upside down with each other with the death of their daughter and everything.
Speaking of turned upside down, there's two famous scenes in this movie that are famous for I guess both the same reason, where they're supposed to be realism.
Yeah.
They really happened.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
The first scene is there's this famous sex scene in this movie, which for years and years was rumored to be real. That the two actors actually had sex during the filming of it. I guess Donald Sutherland has denied it.
Yeah.
When you watch the movie and you're like, no, there's no way that's real. That can't be real sex. They're all pretzeled up and twisted Like, no, that doesn't work that way. The anatomy doesn't really fit in like that.
No.
Hey, pretzel! So yeah, there's that famous scene, which I think has been debunked, but the other scene has not been debunked. It really happened.
It takes place in one of the churches that Donald Sutherland's character is restoring, and he's got to go way up high to go look at something, look at a fresco or something like that on a wall. He has to sort of navigate the scaffolding around, and it starts to collapse. And he really has to hang on.
Yeah, it's really Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, before the guys get another piece of scaffolding that he can sort of get onto and get out of the whole situation. And the reason why he actually did it himself is because the stunt double refused to do it. Because
I wouldn't call it suffering for your art because he didn't die.
I don't think he quite knew.
I guess he kind of did suffer. It would have been like when you watch it and you see the struggle of trying to hold on to this rope while the other guys are trying to get him.
Yeah,
it's crazy. You know, that's lengths to go through to make a movie that you don't really see nowadays anymore.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Because now there would have been CGI. Donald Sutherland goes and does it himself.
You know, who knows those flaky Italian stuntmen? Yeah. Oh no! I don't want to do this.
So yeah, I guess. Well, who would you recommend this movie to?
Oh, jeez. Anybody who likes a suspense thriller, but you know, it's not an overly exciting movie. That's the thing.
No.
You really have to be in the mood. Like, don't put the movie on and then go do the dishes and have it on the background because you're gonna miss it.
Yeah.
You know,
you're gonna miss all the beauty. You're gonna miss all the character building.
Yeah. And so you really have to sit down and watch it, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I recommend this movie to anyone who likes Hitchcock. I think it's very Hitchcock driven. Obviously, you know, if you like The Birds, it's written by the same person who wrote The Birds.
Yeah.
I recommend anyone who likes Italian horror too. Maybe not the crazy, gory Italian horror.
But there's no gore in this movie at all.
But I'd recommend it to anyone who likes, like you said, mystery, thriller, suspense. Those good old 70s vibe movies with the slow burn.
Yeah.
I love the way Donald Sutherland dresses.
Yeah. With the scarf.
And then the long jacket. He looks very well kept.
Yeah. Kind of Doctor Who-ish.
Kind of Doctor Who-ish, yeah. When I was watching, I was thinking he could have made a good Doctor Who if it was a Canadian production.
Yeah, it would have worked, I think.
So don't look now. Go check it out and be ready for the ending.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yep, that's for sure.